Good day to you all. I take it that this video came in at the right time. I thought of to make this video just so to follow up your study that is on the topic mail merge. This mail merge here. Now, first of all, let us look into what are some of the scenarios that you can make use of this mail merge feature in Microsoft Word. As the description goes, it is a feature that allows you to write one single letter and send it to multiple people based on a specific agenda that you want to pass out. Now, case number one, you could be having a group of donors who have donated some funds to an institution or your organization. Well, you could still argue that you could write an email to these individuals, but the most proven professional way of writing a thank you message is by using or by utilizing a way of letters. Now, if you have a database or a list of these users who have donated funds to your institution or organization and you want to give them or send them a thank you letter, the best feature to use is in Microsoft Word, and that is mail merge. Another scenario is now for the case of you students, there are instances where we can decide and write your recommendation letters or reference letters. Now, since we have all your database, that is including your surname, your student number, your first name, and all those other details. To prevent the case whereby each one of you is coming to the office and asking for the same letter, we can decide and just write one single letter and use the feature mail merge to print all these letters at once, such that if you come to the office, the letter is readily available. Now, let us look at the practical aspects of how to complete a mail merge, and it will take you basically 4 steps if you've gone through your notes and have looked into this carefully, which I am trusting most of you should have done by now. The first step, as you will see in your content, is the creation of what is known as the data source. Now, the data source contains a list of all the users, or let's say in this case the students. It may include properties or attributes like your title. A title here, when I speak of that, I am simply referring to the Mr., the Mrs., Doctor, Pastor. That becomes the title. Another item that would be included in the data source is the surname, the first name, the student number, the course that you are doing, the year of registration, any detail you want to include that is necessary to have in the letter. That is going to be included in the data source. So our first document to be created will be the data source. Now, the second document you want to create when you're doing a mail merge is the main document. Now, your main document is now the letter that you want to type and have it sent to these individuals or users. And this is just a simply typed letter in Microsoft Word, after which you do what is known as data source connection. So what you will do is you will connect this main document to your data source. After that, you will be inserting what we refer to as the merge fields. Now, the merge field here refers to the items I have mentioned before, those properties, the attributes, the title, the table titles, like your surname, the first name. We'll see how to insert that in the document. Well, let us now see how to create the data source, starting with that one. Now, to do that, you will have to do this in Microsoft Word. So, insert a table with about 6 columns and 6 rows for this practice. Let us insert a column with 6 rows. That you come here. We are creating our data source. And and then we are going to be selecting about 6 rows and 6 columns and 6 rows. And remember, there should be no spacing. Like when I was starting to insert this table, you should start right at the beginning. Do not put space or probably press the enter key to have a single line spacing like that. No, this space should not be there. Your table insertion must start right at the beginning of this margin here. Then you insert the table 6 columns and 6 rows. So here we are going to have the first field we are going to be typing there. That is going to be the title. The next, we are going to be typing the surname. And then first name, after which we are going to be having the student number. And then let's have the course the student is doing. Then after that, let's say year of registration, something like that. Okay. Then let us populate this table with some records. So here, let's say we have a Mr. Edward Stark. No, sorry. First name is Edward. Surname is Edward, and first name will have a Stark. Student number, let us just use the numbers 1001 for this practice. And then course, let's say Mr. Edward is doing marketing. Year of registration, we will just make year of registration to be 2024 for all of the users we want to have in this table here. Alright, our second user, let us have Mrs. Finance and Accounting. (2024). Let us have another Miss Bradley Watford. Then this one, let's say she's doing nursing. Year of registration, let's make 2024. And then we have another Miss, let's call her Bernard 1004 as the student number, and is also doing nursing. Year of registration 2024. And then we have Mr. Clooney McLean. Student number 1005. Mr. McLean is doing administration and public management, for example. Year of registration 2024. There we have it. Good. Alright, so after you have your table well typed like this is going to be our data source. Let us just apply some little editing features on it. So let's try and edit there. We'll apply the bold emphasis to these table headings, and then the next thing we want to do is to save this table in allocation. So we'll go there and save the table. We will save this table in a location that is easy to remember. That I would suggest your C drive under your LDI exercise folder if you have a file like that. I mean, if you have a folder like that. So I will select to save this in my LDI exercise folder. If you do not have this folder in your drive C, you can simply just create it by clicking new folder right here. Once you have the folder selected, just open it up, and we'll save this as the list. So let's save it as the list, or simply just list, and then we click on save. So our table is ready. Now the next thing now to create is the main document. Our data source is ready. Now we create the main document, and like I said before, the main document is just the letter. So we are going to start a new document, new Microsoft Word document. So let us say that this letter is from an institution, and this institution we will call it ABC Training Institution. So ABC. We'll just give the letter a title of confirmation letter. We take this in the case of students. Alright, so we go like this. This is to confirm that Mr. John Doe, student number 12345, is a registered And then in our second paragraph, let us say this. Alright, so the letter is ready. So this is the content of our letter. It is what we expect to be sending to each and every student. One line we could have added here is probably to say, kindly yes. So some little formatting that we still need to do on this letter. Let us highlight our address and remove the line spacing. In space after paragraph, that is, you highlight the address, then come to the line spacing button and remove space after paragraph. That is, remove space after paragraph. Besides that, we want to apply the bold emphasis to our address, and also here the title, we want to apply the bold emphasis and probably underline it. And then this last part here, the registrar, from the name all the way to the name of the institution, we want to apply or remove space after paragraph, and also make the training institution and the registrar bold, like that. So this is how the letter needs to look like, as simple as this. And after this, our letter is ready. What we are doing next is to save the letter as well. So we go to File and save this letter in the same location as we saved the previous one. That is our LDI exercise, and we'll call it letter, or simply you can give it a suitable name like reference letter, confirmation letter, recommendation letter. But for this practice, let us just save it as a letter. And then after that, our letter is ready. So our main document is created together with the data source. Now step number 3, now we need to connect the data source and the main document. How do you do that? Now we come back to the letter. You must do this while you are on the letter. Okay, like this. So to connect the data source with the main document, what you do, you go to mailings here, this. And then I want you to take note of one particular thing here. As you can see, most of these tools and buttons here are inactive. That is because we have not connected the data source to our main document here. So to connect your data source to the main document, once again, you come to the mailings tab and then select recipients. As you can see, you have 3 options of connecting your data. Now for this practice, we are going to use an existing list. That is the list we just typed in our table. So click use an existing list like this, after which you are going to select the list which we typed before, which is this one here. After you've done that, click on open. Now you can see most of these fields are now active. Now the data source is now connected. What is the last item we need to do now? The last part of this is now to insert the merge field. Now what are the merge fields? Like I said before, the merge field now becomes our surname, the first name, the student number, the course, the title, as it appears in our list here. Now at this moment, you can even close the table or our data source. We do not need to have it open anymore. And then you come to the letter. Now since we've connected the data source, what we do next is now to insert merge fields. Now where are you inserting these merge fields? You will have to come now here. The fields we want to replace are, like, for example, the title here, that is a Mr. John Doe, that is the name, the student number, this one here, the academic year, this 2024, and the course, this course name here. These are the fields which we want to change for each and every student, such that when we send this either via mail or we print it, it is going to print individual letters with each student name on them and the course that they're doing, like that. Well, so how do we do this? To insert your merge field for the title, we will come and highlight Mr. Since we have this as a title in our table or list, highlight this Mr. here and then come to insert merge field, and you see there is the word title. This is coming from the table we just created before. Now select like that, and then the next field we are inserting is the surname. Now highlight John because we want to replace John with the exact field name we have in our list, and John will be the surname. And then highlight Doe. Doe is now our first name as it is in the table. Student number, the number we want to change here or replace with the correct merge field is the student number as it is appearing in our table or list or a database. Now another item or another field is the academic year. We want this year to appear as it is from the table. Now the years could be different. There could be a student who registered in 2024, in 2023, so that can also change in some instances. The next field that we are replacing is the engineering field, that is a course name, so that you come there and put course. Then in this last paragraph we also have another field that is a title, and in this case we just want to have it with the surname like that. Good, and that is all you do. All our merge fields are inserted. While it is not recommended, but I would like us to just apply the bold emphasis to the merge field we have inserted here, just so that you can see the difference. I know most of you will have a hard time seeing the difference. And also note that there should be spacing. There should be spacing between these field names. Like in this case, we have a spacing between title and surname. There's a space between surname and first name there. And also if you look at my student number field name or merge field, there's a space between the student number and this word here is. Now to view this correctly, you can activate the paragraph marks there, and you'll be able to see that single dot is a line space. You get that by pressing the space bar. If you can see this between these words, then you know your document only has a single space in it. All right. Then, as I was saying before, let us bold all these fields we have added just for some clarity, to let us know which fields did we insert. This may not be necessary, but in some cases, yes, you may find it very useful. Alright, so these are the merge fields we have inserted, and these fields are coming from our table. Now, the last and final part of this is now to preview our result. To do that, we go to Mailings. Then under Mailings tab, there is Preview Results. If you click on this, see what happens. The names come live. This is to confirm that Mr. Edward Stark, this is coming from our list. It is coming from the table we typed previously. Take note of that. Getting the student number for Mr. Edward, the academic year, and Mr. Edward is doing marketing. Now, to view other records, just click on next here for next record, and you will see the names change. We go next. Mrs. Tony Rochelle, student number 1002, partaking what? A course in finance and accounting. Remember, the records in our table were 5. You click next, record number 3 comes. You click next, record number 4 comes. The name changes, the course changes, the student number changes, and then that is the last one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you do a mail merge. Thank you very much for having watched this. If there's any part that you might have not quite grasped properly or quite have gotten well, you can just replay the video and rewatch it to achieve this properly. Otherwise, if there's any other further question, just drop me a comment in the forum box and I will respond the soonest I can. Thank you very much. What will follow after this, I will put an activity that will test the full understanding of this one here. What I urge, please guys, try to do the activity individually. Try to do the activity individually while following these instructions here on how to do a mail merge. And when you're done, send it and for the marking. Thank you once again. We'll have another session like this very soon. Thank you once again.